through a lens of a partnership, when one person becomes aware and starts to do the work, that doesn't necessarily guarantee that the other person ever will. You have to walk your own journey and hope that by example and by opportunity, that your partner will at some point see the same. When we unpacked my anger, it was in a place and a time where I genuinely, and my wife did as well, believed that we were in the best place in our marriage we'd ever been. It was a year after I left corporate America to get to the core of helping other people get to the core of who they are. And the conversation started by her telling me that things I'd done, ways I'd shown up, patterns that I'd created had caused her to lose who she was. It's like a dagger to the heart. Now I could have reacted in that moment and been like, I'm not responsible for you losing who you are. I would have guaranteed I wouldn't be married still. But I did have to shift, and here's what I had to recognize. In this particular case, I was the aggressor. I was the one that created the pattern largely to a place where she was on the receiving end and being defensive. I had to step into ownership first, but what's also really fascinating is she didn't really desire anything around the personal growth journey until after this window of time for us. Why? Because I'm out here doing it, living it, and breathing it, but as I'm at home, she doesn't experience it as incongruence. So she doesn't trust when I say and make a promise to her that I'm gonna do everything in my power to ensure the negative effects of anger won't impact our house again. She doesn't believe that that's gonna happen. Because in her mind, she's been telling me for 10 years that this is a pattern, and I'm like, how could I not see it? I didn't. So here's what I had to do in that time. I ate shit for 6 months. What did that mean? I could not elevate to a place of anger in any scenario if I had any hope of reestablishing trust. I would be near perfect in my delivery on something, but my wife, because of a micro expression I made, would still react based on the 14 years of patterns she had before that. And I don't blame her. I mean, that's how we all operate. And so then she'd react and start to elevate, and I'd still have to keep my cool while she's attacking me and telling me that what I know isn't real in this moment is real to her, right? And so this is a common dynamic that happens. But what ultimately took place, with enough consistency, with enough example and enough proof, she started to regain trust. 6 months in, she took a step back and she said, I don't think this is a one-way street. I think I have some work to do also. But had I not given her an environment of emotional safety for her to experience that opportunity would have never been available. And so now we're in a place, it's interesting because I see all the connecting fibers of it, but that was literally what was happening. I'm like, I'm trying to save our marriage. I'm trying to remove this. But in her eyes, she's like, you've been angry for 10 years and you're now just fucking seeing it? Why am I going to trust you? Why am I going to believe you? Why am I going to and she had every right to have that feeling. But in her eyes, I'm on this path to make myself better. And she was like, I'm going to watch what happens. I'm not going to participate in this. She helped in the areas that I told her I needed help. So I employed, hey, look, in these moments of reaction, and I own these things to you, or if I tell you I'm reacting, I need grace in those moments. Because if I don't get grace when I'm owning what is happening, or if I elevate, then it's a trust thing on my side as well. But I don't expect that from her unless I'm also doing the same. We've been together for 17 years. We hid from each other for 14. It's crazy for me to be able to say it that boldly because I've always been a good husband. I've always loved her. I've always cared for her. I've always protected her. I've always taken care of her. I gave her physical safety. I gave her financial safety. I gave her mental safety. I gave her spiritual safety. I didn't give her emotional safety. And without emotional safety, I don't think anything else can exist in a relationship.